guys, it's Kristen, and today we're going to be talking about the new film, Everyday. Everyday is actually a young adult novel by David Levithan that's been adapted into a movie starring Angourie Rice, Debby Ryan, Owen Teague, and so many more people. Everyday is actually a book series that started out as a duology, so the first book is called Everyday, and that was told from A's perspective, and then the second book was called Another Day, and it's literally the same exact story, but it's told from Rhiannon's perspective, and now there's a new book coming out called Someday, which will continue the story. So let's dive into Everyday as a film. So the story is about a girl named Rhiannon, played by Angourie Rice, who is dating this guy named Justin. He's played by Justice Smith, and he doesn't really treat her that great, but one day she asks him if he wants to skip school and hang out with her, and they have the most amazing day together, except there's kind of a twist. It turns out that this amazing day that Rhiannon shared with Justin wasn't really there. It was A. So A is some type of entity or spirit. It's like a personality, a person who has no gender, has no race, has no permanent body, and every day, they wake up as a new person. So that specific day, A ended up waking up as Justin. So A only has 24 hours in every person's body, and they do their best to make sure that they live that day for that person and don't change too much or cause a lot of chaos. But once A met Rhiannon, everything kind of changed. They really fell for her, and as they wake up as new people every day, they start looking for her and trying to find a way to be in her life. They finally tell her the truth about what's going on, and Rhiannon starts falling for A as well, but can they really be together? There's a lot of things that I want to get into with this movie. First of all, I thought it was really cute. I was not sure what to expect going into it. I had read Another Day, and I was mixed about it. I didn't really like Rhiannon, and I was pleasantly surprised going into this film that I did enjoy it. I thought the acting was pretty strong, and I was surprised by some of the people who were in the film that I wasn't expecting, like Amanda Arcuri, who's from Degrassi. That was a lot of fun. In terms of the story itself, I think it's such a unique one. The idea of a gender fluid character like A, they can wake up and be anybody, and they learn so much about life and what it's like to live as different people is so cool. You know, A can wake up one day and be a guy, a girl, black, Hispanic, Asian. At one point they wake up and they're a transgender person, another time they're a blind guy, another time they're this girl who's dealing with all of this depression and suicidal thoughts and they actually have to help save her. I also thought that they were really smart about including certain personality traits that were specifically A's, that A did all the time, so that you knew who it was whenever they were there. For instance, the way they looked at Rhiannon, or their goofy, fun, dancey personality whenever their favorite song came on, or the way that they always moved Rhiannon's hair back. There were certain things that they all did that just really helped you solidify that's A. While I thought this representation was really incredible and groundbreaking, I also thought that they kind of missed some really big opportunities to dive deeper into, you know, this diversity and this representation and this story. For instance, there's a moment when we see A wake up as a blind guy, but it's more of like a cameo type of moment. We don't actually get to see them interact with Rhiannon, and I thought, why not, you know? There was this huge message that this movie claimed to portray of love is love, but I think when you really look into it and kind of put it under a microscope, Rhiannon and A were only really intimate when A was a cute white guy. There was one moment where she kissed a black guy, there was one moment where she kissed a girl very briefly. I thought that they did a great job of casting a lot of diverse actors to play A, but really they were only intimate when A was a cute white guy, and I thought that kind of didn't really go along with that whole message of love is love. You know, it would have been really incredible to have her be with Vic, the transgender guy, or another one of the girls. Obviously, if Rhiannon's straight, she's straight. If she just wants to be with a guy, that's fine. But I thought that the whole point of the film was to show that throughout all of these people, Rhiannon liked them anyway because they were A, and really it seemed like she was still very selective about the kind of person that she was interested in, even if she did like the personality. I think to see her be with someone completely different would have really solidified that idea that it's about the personality and not the shell of the person. It's one thing to include a bunch of diverse actors, but to not really utilize them seemed like a missed opportunity to me. Now on the other side of things, another thing that kind of, I would say, rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, this was in the book and in the movie, was sort of the ethics of Rhiannon and A being together, because none of these bodies are A's. So I just thought that there was like a weird consensual issue there, especially as you can see that like A and Rhiannon were being intimate at certain parts of the film. None of these bodies are A's. I just didn't think that that was okay. You know, there was even a moment in the film when Rhiannon was saying, oh, A, you kissed me as Justin. I don't think that that was cool. You shouldn't have done that. But now here she is kissing all of these other bodies that are not A's. They don't belong to A. The person whose body they're in has literally no choice in the matter. They didn't really dive into it that much in the movie, but I just thought that that seemed kind of problematic. Something that could have been a fix, or I mean, it would have been changing the story in a way, but if A had been like a person who was like Mystique from X-Men, where like they changed their physical appearance, but maybe they didn't have control over it, and their physical appearance changed all the time, but they were still the same person. I feel like that could have made it a little bit better, because now you don't have to worry about like all these other people, but the fact that that was not what the story is, it's that, you know, this is all completely different people, I didn't think that was cool. There's a few other things I'd like to bring up. For instance, there's this guy named Nathan whose body is taken over by A, and he ends up thinking that he was possessed by the devil. And they didn't really explain it a lot in the movie, but I believe in the book they do, and it just felt like in the movie they really could have expanded on that more and made it kind of like a bigger thing, because that was pretty interesting, I thought, and it kind of seemed like they kind of threw that plot point out there and then squashed it and like continued the love story. But that could have been an interesting thing to have as like a secondary story continuing on in the movie. I also thought that they kind of severely underused some of the actors that they had in the film. You know, you have Debbie Ryan, who's a really, really well-known actress, especially in the Disney scene, and she was kind of related to being the sister chauffeur throughout the whole film. And then there was also Amanda Arcuri, who was playing Rhiannon's best friend, and I felt like if she wasn't in the film, it wouldn't have really made a difference. I mean, I think she's great. I love her. I'm saying, like, I think they should have given her more of a purpose in the film, because she was there, she was fun, and then that was it. She didn't really do anything. So I just felt like they didn't really utilize some of like the cool young actors that they had. And that is also the case, I think, in terms of Ian Alexander, who's a transgender actor playing the trans character in the film. They could have done something more. Whoever the guy was that played the blind character, you know, these people had such short little moments, and those ones I think could have had really interesting and powerful stories with Rhiannon. You know, it would have been really cool to see her be with someone who was, you know, different bodied than her, or someone who was, you know, just like, again, more diverse. I will say though, in regards to the film versus the book, at least in regards to the book Another Day, I thought Rhiannon was a heck of a lot more likable in the movie. I remember in the book thinking that she was very needy and selfish, and she needed to be in a relationship all the time. And I remember her cheating on her boyfriend for so long in the book that it felt like it was like most of the book she was cheating on her boyfriend with A. In the movie, I liked her character a lot better. I thought, you know, she kind of cut things off with Justin sooner in the movie, and overall, I just thought she was a better character in the film. All in all, I do think that Rhiannon learned a lot about different types of people and about her own self-worth, and making sure that, you know, she doesn't stay with someone who doesn't truly see her. I did think it was a cute film. I would love to learn more about A. I think A's storyline is the one that's really interesting. You know, how they became the way that they did, you know, switching bodies all the time. I think that's really the part of the story that's the interesting one. But at the same time, I really just didn't feel like this film was as progressive as it could have been. I was really hoping to see that message of love is love be brought to the forefront in a really strong way, but I think that this film just like missed the mark. And it sucks, because I think they really could have done so much more to push the envelope in terms of relationships and gender fluidity and diversity between Rhiannon and A. I would love to know what you guys thought about the film. Did you enjoy it? Do you agree with me? Disagree? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and make sure to click that subscribe button, because I come out with new videos every week. See ya!